Welcome to the second episode of making the Cocobolo Native American Flute. In this video, I'll show you how I refine the nest and the true sound hole, tune the bass pitch, drill and tune the finger holes, apply the finish, and carve an eagle head for the totem. If you haven't seen the first episode yet, I encourage you to watch it first. The link is in the description. With a fine flat file, I smooth every edge to ensure a clean finish. Just beyond the labium, I filed a gentle ramp at about 10 to 12 degrees into the bore and blended it smoothly. This ramp plays a crucial role in producing a clear, steady tone without excess airiness. To sand the inside of the bore, I attached sandpaper to a dowel mounted on the lathe. I worked through the grit starting at 220 and finished at 800. Then burnished with plain paper on the dowel to leave the bore smooth and glossy. For the maple mouthpiece, I applied a very thin coat of the wax shellac inside and along the tip to provide protection against moisture. Now it's time to tune the flute to F sharp as the bass note. If the pitch comes out flat, I carefully trim a small amount from the foot, adjusting little by little until the pitch settles right on F sharp. Now it's time to drill finger holes. I begin by drilling a small pilot holes about 1/8 of an inch along the center line I had marked earlier. Then I switch to larger bits to open up the finger holes. Before drilling, I insert a dowel into the bore to prevent chip outs. Starting with the hole closest to the foot, I tune each one before moving on to the next. If a note sounds flat, I enlarge the hole just slightly until it comes into tune. The exact tuning process varies depending on the key of the flute, and there are excellent resources that explain this in detail, such as flutopia.com. After tuning, I mask the true sound hole, the flue and the chimney, then sand the outside of the flute up to 800 grit. I wipe it clean with denatured alcohol and apply Yorkshire grit as a polishing abrasive, buffing it off completely for a smooth surface. Next, I plug the finger holes and apply several light coats of OB shine juice, a mixture of shellac, boiled linseed oil, and denatured alcohol, friction buffing each layer to build a warm, hand-rub sheen. I'm careful to keep all finishes out of the acoustic areas. Finally, I apply a thin coat of shellac to the mouth tip and the nest area for added protection. For the totem, I sketched an eagle head on paper, glued it to a piece of cocobolo, and cut it out on the scroll saw. On the top, I cut a groove and a slot for the leather tie so it sits securely without rocking, while keeping the underside flat to seal the flue area cleanly. I refined the shape on a drum sander, added feather textures with a wonder wheel, and smoothed all the surfaces using small finger files. For detail, I burned in the eyes and feather lines with wood burner pens. Cocobolo can be hazardous when burned, so I always wear a mask and make sure the area is well ventilated. Once the carving was complete, I sanded the entire totem and applied a coat of shellac as a sealer. Then on the lathe, I buffed it in stages. First with Tripoli compound, then diamond, and finally finished it with wax. And here it is, the finished flute, complete with its eagle totem. I hope you enjoyed watching the journey of bringing it to life. If you did, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future projects. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.